We need to talk about Marmalade Boy because this anime is pure nonsense for 76 episodes and it's a huge train wreck. Because this is a roller coaster ride you get on when you watch all 76 episodes because we have our highs, we have our lows, we have our very crazy moments. But let's talk about Marmalade Boy because this is an anime I should have been talked about like last year. I really should have made a video on this. I mean, I made a TikTok video on it, just not YouTube, but this anime is a classic shoujo anime that is also so goddamn messy for no goddamn reason. Because there's so much stuff they add in here that they did not need to be messy for, but they did it just to add some drama. And trust me, they add so many extra elements of drama in this series. But now it's time to talk about Marmalade Boy. Now, Marmalade Boy is about two step siblings. Yes, Yu and Miki. Now, the reason why these two are step siblings is because their parents go on vacation and they come back and they're basically like, yeah, we're getting a divorce and we're going to marry these folks right here, who happens to be like the other main character's parents, who happens to be Yu's parents. So essentially their parents are swingers because they just swap spouses, which is like very crazy to like start your anime off on. And the only person that actually sees this as crazy is Miki. Miki's the only one from the jump. She's just like, dog, I don't like this. This is weird. I do not like this at all. She's like, why do my parents have to get a divorce? Like, why? It's not even like her parents are unhappy or anything like that. They just want to swap spouses. So like, she does not like it. But then after a while, the one thing that catches her eye is Yu. She's like, oh my gosh, he is so attractive and all that. And just know the whole problem she had like with the parents and all that, it gets thrown out the window. As soon as she sees Yu and she gets to know him, she's like, yeah, I'm in love with him. I don't care for super step siblings. And the reason why I call them super step siblings is because both sets of parents are all living in the same house. They all live together. That's the crazy thing. It's not like they moved out. It's like, nah, they all live together. And the thing about it when it comes to Yu and Miki, their relationship is so complicated in this anime because there's so much drama. And I mean, it's unnecessary drama. You already have the problem with them being step siblings, but throw on top of that multiple love interests, and I mean multiple. I'm pretty sure each of them have like 3 or more. Now, we will talk about the other love interests in a little bit. But when it comes to just their whole dynamic and all that, just know they're going to have a whole bunch of on again, off again. There's going to be times when they're actually dating. There's going to be time where they do a fake ass breakup and next thing you know, they're talking to other people. And there's going to be times like this one where you have a very crazy moment. So at one point in this anime, Yu essentially finds out that him and Miki are blood related. And that's mainly because of like this old letter that his grandma wrote, along with him also finding a picture of the parents back in college. So like, you know, the parents the whole time they knew each other. They planned this shit out. So like I said, the real villains of this whole series are really the parents for like doing all this shit. It's like, dog, if you wanted to be with the other person, you should have got with that person back in college instead of getting with the one you actually got with now. And it's like this whole situation could have been resolved and these two would have not been step siblings. Just saying, they could have done that. So like he sees that picture and all that, and this whole time he's just thinking that they're blood related. So like he literally tells Miki, he's like, yo, we cannot date no more, we can't be together anymore because we're siblings, like we're related by blood. And at first they're both heartbroken, but just know what happens is like when it comes to Miki, she goes to America and she gets lost in Harlem, and like Yu goes and saves her, and then they embrace, and then Yu's like, I don't care for blood related, I want to be with you, Miki, I don't care at all. So it's just like, yeah, they don't care at all. There's nothing stopping them from ever being together. Just know at the end of the whole series, like in the manga, they're gonna eventually get married and have kids like in the sequel series. So like you should know nothing was stopping them. They don't care if they were blood related, they don't care that they're super step siblings, they don't care about none of that shit. They said nothing's gonna stop us from doing this incest. So that's kind of just like how their whole dynamic is, and just know there's a whole bunch of other mess that's gonna get added to it. But let's talk about some of their other love interests because their love interests are actually pretty interesting. I will say that, especially because a lot of their love interests also like find other people that are also way better than like you and me. And that's like one of the things I find very funny is just like, how is it that all y'all love interests end up finding like people that are way better than y'all, which is always so funny. And most of the time it's usually like both of their love interests like get together, and that's the funny thing. We're going to talk about Miki's love interests first because she has some more interesting ones. Now the first one is Genta, and Genta's kind of like a childhood friend that she's known for a while, and like before Yu came there, she was always thinking about getting with Genta because she kind of did like Genta, but then once Yu came along, she kind of just pushed him off and brushed him off and like brushed his feelings away, even though like she did like him at first, which is like kind of crazy. She liked him for a very long time, but then Yu shows up, and yeah, they kind of have a complicated like type of dynamic, because for a long time Genta's still trying to get with her, and like she kind of has to figure out who exactly does she like. Does she like Genta? Does she like Yu? Eventually they're just going to stay like super close friends. There's a little bit of drama that does happen between Genta and Yu, but then for the most part their relationship kind of just becomes all them being friends, and plus he's going to get him a girlfriend that is so much better than Miki, like so much. Now another love interest that Miki had was Kei. And like she makes him mainly because they work together at the ice cream shop, and at one point they are going to have a relationship together because they are going to get together, but at the same time, the whole time, you know, Miki is over here thinking about Yu, and that's the main reason why like their relationship never really works. He does write a whole song for her, but it just never really works and pans out like that, because he can never really get Miki to really see him as him, because she's so concerned about Yu. Now the last love interest she has is Michael, and he came from America because that's when Yu goes over to America and they kind of just swapped and all that, so like, you know, exchange students, so they swapped. And when he's over here living with Miki, he basically is trying to get on her, and for the most part that never really goes anywhere. There's a few moments where it could have went somewhere, but it was never really going to go nowhere, because at this point she really wants Yu badly, so that doesn't really go nowhere. Now when it comes to Yu's love interests, he has a lot, like a lot. Now the first one is Arumi, and like she kind of has like the short hair and the greenish hair, and the main reason why she has a connection to him because like she's always liked Yu, and I think they did kind of date for a little bit, and like she kind of just feels like Yu is hers, but just know eventually Yu's gonna finally just kind of break her heart, and like she's eventually gonna move on and she's gonna find somebody better, and I mean way better than Yu, I will say that. Now the next one is Anju, or Ann, and this one is like Yu's childhood best friend that's always been like super sick, and like she always liked Yu a lot, and like there's a moment where like Yu is spending time with her because like she gets sick again, but eventually that's just not going to really go nowhere. But like at the same time it was leading really close to like him trying to get with her, but it doesn't really go nowhere like that, because eventually she does leave, but like at the same time she still does love him a lot. Now the next one is Jenny. Now Jenny is the one person that was on demon time in this whole anime. Like as soon as she met Yu in America, she was not playing. She was on no game. She wanted Yu, and she almost got him. And also she low-key looked like Android 18. I can't even lie. She low-key kind of does look like Android 18. But yeah, Jenny was the one that actually was trying to put some motion in here. Like she has some motion when it came to her actually spitting game at Yu, and it was close, but at the same time Yu was always just trying to push her aside. But Jenny was not playing. She was on demon time. Now the last love interest that Yu had was Suzu, and like she's literally the cousin of like the vice president Satoshi, so that's his little cousin, and the main reason why she likes Yu is just because she finds him attractive and all that, and just know that's eventually not going to really go nowhere like that, because he never really gives her kind of the time of day, and like compared to like some of the other love interests, I will say. And plus she's also going to kind of find somebody later on too, I will say that, and we'll talk about like who she finds later on though. Now there are two characters in this whole anime that piss me off way more than the two main characters, because their relationship is so irritating, because it basically had a point where it could have stopped and it needed to stay stopped, and that is the student-teacher relationship between Mako Fast Ass and Mr. Nomura. Because Mr. Nomura is basically I think 11 years older than Mako, because Mako's like 16 and I think he's in his mid-20s, like close to his 30s. Like I think he might have been 27, I can't remember exactly.
Oh god, I just witnessed a crime.
So I looked up, and yeah, Mr. Nomura is actually 23 years old. So yeah, I don't know where I got the 27 from, but it doesn't really matter. He's still an adult trying to talk to a girl that is way younger than him. So he's still tripping. But yeah, you can just listen to my rant and my ramble that I'm about to have, because I literally have a whole rant that's about to come up. But yeah, he's actually 23, not 27. Still crazy. And this one is even crazier, because it seems like he kind of just went to college just to go to a high school so he could talk to high school girls. Just saying, that's even crazier, since he is in the range of like where he would have graduated from college, and then he just went straight to a high school and then talking to high school girls. Even crazier, because it's like, dog, you could talk to people your own goddamn age, but of course he goes out of his way. But yeah, incoming rant, just listen to the rant. Even though I say 27, he's actually 23. Their relationship is so irritating, mainly because Mako is so in love with her teacher, and then when it comes to Mr. Nomura, it's like, dog, why is he in love with a 16-year-old? And like this relationship gets so bad because it gets made public and people find out. He loses his job because he resigns, because he can't deal with all this, because people want to see. It's like, dog, you are a weirdo. You are a weirdo. That's why people are saying, they're like, dog, you are a weirdo. You need to be locked up. Why are you trying to go with a minor? That's his problem. When it comes to Mako, she's so in love. She wants to defy her parents, and eventually she does defy her parents, because at the end of this series, she's gonna get married to him, and then I guess in the manga I think they have a kid or they have multiple children, I'm not sure exactly, but yeah, it's ridiculous. And like the crazy thing is nobody sees this as a problem besides like one teacher that also kind of did like Mr. Nomura. And also I saw that I guess she might be an anime original character, because I guess she wasn't in the manga, I'm not sure though. But yeah, there was only one teacher that actually saw this as a problem, and I guess like the school staff did see it as a problem too. But like when it came to our main cast, they didn't care. They're just like, yeah, go for it, girl. And it's like, of course they don't care, because when it comes to you and Miki's parents, they don't give a f that those two are dating. They're actually happy about it, and they knew this whole time, and they've been cheering them on. So yeah, that's why nobody cares about the student and the teacher relationship, because everybody in this anime just basically has no morals, and they don't give a f. Now, the reason why Mako really pisses me off is because at one point, Mr. Nomura and her are going to break up because Mr. Nomura is going to move away. And she has another love interest that is so much better, and it's Saitoshi, the vice president. He does way more for her than Mr. Nomura ever did, because this Mr. Nomura doesn't do shit this whole anime for her, like at all he does is run away and moves away because he doesn't want to deal with like the whole fact that people found out he was talking to a minor. So yeah, he doesn't do shit this whole anime. But when it comes to Saitoshi, he actually really cares about Mako. But Mako's so delusional in her head, and she's so delulu that she's like, oh, I'm so in love with Mr. Nomura, that she doesn't really ever give him the time of day, until eventually she kind of does give him the time of day, because he's the main reason why she even like starts writing, and like he even puts one of her stories in this competition and she wins. And that's one of the things that's so irritating, is because she does not appreciate any of the shit that Saitoshi does. Because if she had a fucking brain cell, she would have realized, oh, this person right here cares about me way more, instead of this grown-ass man right here who clearly should not be talking to me because I am a child, I'm a teenager, when he's almost 30. So yeah, she doesn't think about that at all. She just wants that grown-ass man instead of seeing the person that was actually good for her. And that's why I kind of hate Mr. Nomura and Mako. Mako's like the worst character in this whole series, I guess besides like the parents, because like I said, the parents are the real villain of this story. But yeah, she pisses me off. Their whole relationship and dynamic pisses me off. And like, that's the one thing I hate about this series, because for majority of the anime, it's Saitoshi and Mako, not Mr. Nomura. And that's what pisses me off, because Mr. Nomura doesn't even get no type of development for us to even like care about the relationship at all. It kind of just happens, where like Mako and Saitoshi actually had a relationship, and it just pisses me off. And it's like she had to choose the grown-ass man that is so much older than her, like way older, and like it's so weird. Now, there is one relationship in this anime that is actually really good, and it's my favorite relationship in the whole anime, because it's actually a good one, and that is Genta and Arumi. Like, these two get together and their relationship is so good. And it's like, yes, at the beginning of their relationship they do start it mainly to like make Miki jealous, but then eventually it does turn into these two actually figuring out they actually have feelings for each other. And once they start dating, their relationship is wholesome, until Miki tries to bring her bullshit into the relationship, but then that shit gets stopped really fast, because like she basically has like a whole spiral moment, like when Yu goes over to America, where she's trying to holler at all her past like old flings, and she even tries to like get on to like Genta. But just know Genta and like Arumi are gonna stop that shit, because they're just like, dog, we don't want to deal with your bullshit. But yeah, I love their relationship. Their relationship is the best one in this whole anime, and I'm happy those two got together, because they deserve to like find somebody, because those two had to deal with Yu and Miki, and both of them are just, you know, big ass tornadoes of bullshit. And I'm just happy those two actually found somebody they could actually be with. Also, there was this one purple headed boy that was like really in love with Arumi, and he was kind of somebody that was kind of low-key a stalker slash rival for Genta at one point, until Genta finally gets Arumi. And then when it comes to the purple headed boy, he gets his own girlfriend, so I guess it kind of did work out for him in the end, that he actually did find somebody. Now, one of the last relationships that does happen in this anime, kind of a little bit, but it happens more in the manga, and that is Kei and Suzu, because in the anime you get little moments that show that these two probably would eventually date, but I'm pretty sure in the manga those two do eventually date, because I mean, I've not read the manga, but I've looked up certain things about that. But in the anime you have little moments that show that they more than likely would date, because they kind of fit each other better than like, you know, going after Yu or Miki. Now, the very end of this series, at least for the anime, is all over the place, because it ends kind of with the American arc. And that's the whole thing where I say you get introduced to Jenny, and Jenny's the one person that's being super messy. We also have a crazy ass basketball game in here where they have a character that's supposed to be African American, and he's supposed to be black. He does not look black. It looks like he was just painted with something. It is so horrible. It's like one of the weirdest black characters I've ever seen, like in the anime. Because, you know, in anime, you know, they sometimes don't make us look right. But in this one, it looks so fucking bad. So bad. And also, the burgers are big as hell in this anime too. But yeah, the black character they have in here, he is not a nigga at all. That does not look like a nigga. He does not at all, and it's ridiculous. But like I mentioned earlier, you do have the whole plot line of like the blood thing, and like how they basically trying to justify incest, because they're just like, yo, we can be together. I don't care for blood related. Just know eventually that is going to get resolved and you find out that they're not blood related. It's just that the parents knew each other like back in the day and all that. And also it gets revealed that the parents this whole time knew that these two were dating and they liked each other. And the parents don't care at all. The parents are just like, yeah, we're so happy that you guys are dating. And I'm just like, weird, because they just became step siblings, but whatever, I guess. And then also one of the craziest things in the anime happens, and that is both of their moms are pregnant. So now they're about to have two new siblings, and that's what makes them super step siblings, because now they each are about to share two siblings. And that's the crazy thing. That's what makes it so crazier that these two are dating, because it's just like, dog. And it's like, now y'all about to have a brother and sister that y'all both are related to, but y'all two are married. Very weird. So that, yeah. And just know in the sequel series, it's literally about the little brother and the little sister. And also in that series, Miki and Yu are married and they have kids. And also I'm pretty sure that series is about the little brother and sister like dating or something like that, because I remember reading something about that. I'm not sure exactly. If you read the sequel series, just let me know in the comments, but from what I was reading up on it, that's what it sounds like, which I'm like, that is weird, because at that point those two are blood related and it gets very messy and complicated because they parents, yeah, it's very, very weird. But yeah, that's Marmalade Boy. This very messy series. I should have made a video about this. I mean, I know I did make a short and a TikTok about this, but at the same time I should have made a whole YouTube video, because like I said, this is a whole roller coaster of a series that will piss you off. Like the reason why this series really pisses you off, because of like all the unnecessary drama, especially when it comes to the main characters, because like they did not need all those love interests they needed, and especially with Yu and Miki never making up their goddamn mind. Either be together or don't be together. Stop trying to do this whole on and off again shit. We do not care. We got other shit we need to see in these 76 episodes, but nope, we get that on again off again bullshit. And also fuck Mr. Nomura, fuck Mako. I hate both of them. They're the worst characters in this whole series. And of course this series ends with those two getting married, because you know, wow, let's see a 16-year-old marry a man that's like 11 years older than her, because I'm pretty sure he is 27. I'm like pretty sure. Even if he's not 27, he's in his goddamn 20s. He's an adult. Why is he going after this 16-year-old girl? Go find somebody your own goddamn age. What is wrong with him? He's a weirdo. But yeah, Marmalade Boy, if you read the manga, seen the anime, let me know in the comments. If you want to watch this anime, hey, why not watch it? I'm pretty sure this is on Crunchyroll. You can watch it, and just know it's going to be a messy series that will piss you off at times, but it's not that bad. But at the same time, it is very bad when you look at all the tropes they added in this anime. But I mean, this is like what? I think this was like a 90s anime, so you know, they were just going away with anything when it comes to the shoujo series, just adding whatever weird ass trope they could add when it came to like either incest or, you know, a girl being with a grown-ass man. They did not care about none of that, because they were just throwing shit in here. But if you enjoyed the video, why not like? If you did, you could dislike, subscribe if you really enjoyed. But just know, I am going to try and talk about more messy series, because I need to. Maybe we might talk about Boys Over the Flowers, because that was another series that was very messy at times. That had a lot of other messed up stuff in it. But who knows? I'll see what other messy series I want to talk about, because there's a lot of messy series that I could talk about, though. But thanks for watching. I'll see you next video, though. Bye!